Hello. I won't be able to see if you ask questions or talk. And I was going to do this on my, my fan page, Debbie Does Dinner, but I couldn't get the live feed to work, so I'm just going to do it on my own page. And if nobody wants to watch it, they don't have to. We're going to have a little fun here making dinner tonight. So this will be able to share with other people. And we're making a family-style burrito and Mexican corn. Now, in my family, in my household, sometimes there's leftovers in the fridge, but we don't actually eat leftovers, we eat do-overs. So I'm taking some leftover taco meat. I'm going to make this casserole. But first I'm going to get my Mexican corn ready, and it's a little early for me to put dinner on the table. So what I do is I go ahead and get some prep work done and have it ready to throw in the pan. Now, I know you guys have heard me talk about this great spiralizer that you can use to make your veggie noodles. With this blade, you can make either spaghetti noodles or fettuccine noodles, but I don't need that right now. What I need is to cut up this onion. This is my favorite onion slicer now. So I'm going to take the bottom off because I think you guys, well, no, I'll leave it on there. Okay. So leaving that out, you still have one blade inside, and that's a ribbon blade. So if you've ever been to the fair and you had the ribbon fries or something like that, you can make it with this. But here's how I slice my onion. I just anchor my onion, which this one's a little one. So he's just going to take a couple of turns probably. And I'll have it latched in there good. There we go. Alright, so I just turn it. Can you see those onions coming out the bottom? So that's how fast I sliced up my onion. I'll take it apart. So, I want these cut up so I didn't have to do all that. So I can either take my knife and just chop it like this, or I love my kitchen shears. Now, everybody needs a good pair of kitchen shears in their arsenal, right? So these, I just use them for everything. Now I use these when I'm cutting up raw meat, when I'm doing my fresh herbs cooking recipes. So that's all I have to do on this. So I'm just going to put these. Now I have some corn. This is frozen corn. I like to use fresh vegetables as much as possible. Sometimes I don't want to mess with fresh corn, so I buy frozen corn. So I'm just going to put that in there with it. And then we're going to add some red and green bell pepper. If you're going to use bell peppers and you're not going to use the whole thing, don't take the seeds out. I know that's the first thing we usually want to do is take the seeds out. But if you actually will leave the seeds attached to the core, they will last longer in the refrigerator before they start going bad. So, we're just going to take a little bit of this for our corn, and bless it. Oh, it's not in there. It's alright, so I'm going to cut this just so it fits a little better in my quick slice. Now, the quick slice, this is one I tell people a lot about, about a lot of times. But this is something that makes slices really fast. You probably can't see it from there, but there's openings in between these slats. And this is the blades, and it comes to a V, so it makes it easy to go in there. So you put whatever you want to slice in here, and you just rock until it goes through. So I'm going to put the fleshy side of my peppers up, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to rock. And boom, I have them cut into these slices. But I want them diced, so I take my slices and just simply turn them the other direction. I love this little guy because he saves me a lot of time. So look, I've got all of these peppers diced in 2 whacks. So if you're taking time to dice your peppers or whatever, this will save you so much time. So let's go ahead and do the green one too, because I like a lot of color in food. You know, we eat with our eyes before we eat with our taste buds. So we're going to take these and turn them this direction. And do the same thing we did with the red ones. And then we're going to throw these in here with our corn. Now, all I'm going to do to season this corn is throw in some of our chipotle rub. I don't have a lot left, but it's a small thing of corn, so we won't need much. Then I'm just going to stir it up. These spatulas, they're our scrapers. This is the mini mix and scrape. I use this so much. This is my egg scrambling tool. Did you know our scrapers can handle up to 650 degrees, the head of the scraper, so you're not going to melt it? How many of you have gone to the store and bought those cheap ones for $1? You come home and by next week you need a new one, right? I've had people at my parties actually pick up my scraper and go like this, trying to pull the head off, because they get them at the store, then they wind up with water inside here that gets in their food, and that's kind of gross, right? So we're just going to put this aside. Now this is part of our mixing bowl set, our stainless mixing bowl. See the silicone on the bottom? It keeps it from moving if you're mixing. You can put it, you can store in it, you can freeze in it. Now, one of the good things, this has a lid that fits in here. It does have a pour spout. If you need to drain the juice off something, turn your lid backwards. I learned this from my friend Laura Polito. And you just put your lid on there and look, you can drain without losing any of your goodies. So we're just going to put this aside while we make our other goodies. Okay, so now there is actually a recipe for this. But you know, I'm an old cook, so recipes to me are just suggestions. I always change them up and they become my recipe by the time I get through it. So we're going to take a can of refried beans. Now let me tell you a horror story about can openers. When I was a kid, can openers did not have smooth sides. They had a terrible rough edge around here that was really dangerous. Look, it doesn't look like it's open, right? I have a beak here, and that's going to pull that right off of there for me. Ta-da! So anyway, my dad had this can of marbles in a coffee can, and it had a rough top. And the rules were that we weren't supposed to touch that can of marbles. So, being children, we touched the can of marbles. I'm just taking some of my favorite store-bought salsas. I usually make my own salsa, but I'm a little lazy today. So I'm just going to pour, and notice I measured precisely. You've got to have your measurements down, right? So, anyway, we got that can of marbles, and we were playing, and he fell, and he hit that can of marbles like this. That sliced his hand up to here. So that was my first experience with somebody going to the emergency room. And then, my sister has a dog that liked to get into the trash, and she was very happy to have this can opener because he licked all the cans clean and he didn't get hurt. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic, and our garlic press, people love this thing so much that I have actually been stopped in an elevator in Chicago, Illinois, and a man said, because I had on a logo shirt, he said, "Do you sell that garlic press?" And I said, "Well, yes, I do." And he said, "Could I order one from you?" So we got off the elevator, and I took his order and got him a garlic press, and he was so happy. The reason is because, did you notice I didn't even have to peel that garlic? And now look, here's all the skin right here. So you don't have to worry with that. So we're going to, one clove of garlic is not enough for anything in my household. So I'm going to add a little bit more. So got my garlic in there and my stuff. And then I'm just going to mash that up. Now it makes the beans a little easier to spread too by adding that salsa to it. So I just have this little group here. Now remember, this is a cheap meal too because I'm using leftover taco meat. So I've got my taco meat here, and this was cooked in the microwave in our rock crock. If you don't like to spend a lot of time over the stove cooking hamburger meat, the microwave is your friend. Did you know I can cook 1.5 pounds in about 7 minutes? I just put it either in this, which is what I usually use is this, or I put it in the micro cooker, and I go 3 minutes in the microwave, and then I take it out and use everybody's favorite tool, which is the mix and chop. Bing, 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 bing. So you have, it's a pinwheel shape, so it breaks up the hamburger meat with you. I sold nearly 200 of these last year because this is everybody's favorite. If I go to a show and someone does not have one of those, my customers tell them, oh, but you must. So they always leave with one. So we're going to add a little bit of red and green bell pepper to this too. So I'm just going to cut a little more piece here. Do the same thing we just did. You know what? I'll do this different just so you can see another option. My very first purchase from Pampered Chef was 18 years ago. And it was, the reason it was 18 years ago is it was the week before I got married. Our anniversary's this month. So, anyway. So this guy, you just put what you want under there. Now, you can do it in here. I like to do it on my cutting board. And so I got that one cut up pretty good. If I'm putting it in something that I want you to see the pieces better, I use the quick slice. If it's going in a mixture, I might use this guy. So I just want to put this in here with our meat. I'm not adding any onion this time because we already had some onion over here. Now I don't have to season the meat because we already seasoned it when we made taco meat, right? So just want to stir all that together, and it's going to be pretty. Now the original recipe has the corn in with this, but I like to have a side dish, so I'm doing this in a fresh salad. So this guy, if you don't have this, and you can only afford one thing from Pampered Chef, this is what you want. This is the crock pot on steroids, also known as the deep cover baker. You can cook a whole chicken in the microwave in 30 minutes. Nobody will know you did that because they're going to think you baked it in the oven. Now you can also bake in the oven with it too. And the best chicken I have ever made, and I've been cooking a while. I'm about to be 60 years old and been cooking since, I don't know, 150 years ago. But the best chicken I ever made was in this baker. And I took the chicken and I shoved a lemon that had holes poked in it, a whole one of those giant heads of garlic up inside the chicken, and then I put some garlic infused canola oil and some seasonings on top. I baked it in the oven for about an hour uncovered, and then I put the lid on it and let the juices redistribute. That was absolute most amazing chicken. Okay, so in this is a piece of our stoneware. If you're not familiar with stoneware, talk to me and let me tell you the advantages of it. For one thing, our stoneware is only made with clay that's mined in the United States. This is made in the United States. So, in the bottom of this, I have some corn tortillas just covering the bottom. So now we're just going to layer this goodness up here. So I'm going to take 1/3 of my beans. Again, we're going to measure very precisely. And stoneware, it's kind of like, now in Texas, most everybody has an iron skillet. And what do you have to do with that iron skillet? You have to season it. Well, stoneware is the same way. And the more you use stoneware, the darker it gets. And that's okay. That's what you want. If that iron skillet were white, trust me, you'd be seeing it turn dark too. So you only wash these with really hot water. You don't have to add any soap. You don't put them in the dishwasher. Now the rock crocks, on the other hand, which is this guy, he's the smallest one. This is the casserole. So now I just layer my meat on here in case you didn't notice. Okay, so the rock crocks are kind of a workhorse because they go everywhere. You know, there's always that person that goes everywhere. Well, that's the rock crock. Goes in the microwave, goes in the oven, goes under the broiler, goes under on the burner, goes on the grill, the dishwasher, the freezer, It just does everything. So, again, if you just want one thing that can do a lot of things, that's going to be your rock cross. Now, we also have a rock cross grill stone for making pizzas. And, of course, we make mile-high nachos, because this house has a lot of Tex-Mex food going around. Now, if you make Tex-Mex food, consider some of our seasonings. Our seasonings are all gluten-free. They are MSG-free. And the ones that I like best for Tex-Mex is not the Tex-Mex seasoning. I'm pretty sure, oh, I forgot to put my layer of cheese in there. I'll put extra on this one. I'm pretty sure that the person that developed Tex-Mex is not Texan. But our Chipotle and our Southwest seasoning are absolutely to die for. And they can make you have your Tex-Mex food going really quick. Now here's our cheese. I didn't get to talk about this. I'm on a mission to make America great again. Okay, so we have fresh block cheese here. Now, I know some of you are saying, why didn't she just get that bag out? Well, I encourage you, after you get through watching this, go get that bag of cheese and read the ingredients. What you're going to find is a word called cellulose. That's just a wood pulp powder that goes in the cheese to keep it from clumping up. And it's not good for you. It's a chemical. I like to keep as many chemicals out of my food as possible. I like the fresh grated cheese. It's actually cheaper to buy the cheese like this and grate it yourself. It only takes a minute or two. And then it melts better. It tastes better. I have a video on YouTube about Ooey Gooey nachos. And if you'll watch that, you can see the difference. I do a plate of nachos, half of them with fresh grated cheese and half of them with the store-bought pre-shredded cheese. And you can just see the difference. The fresh grated cheese melts and gooey and stringy, just like cheese is supposed to be. But the one that came out of that bag, it just clumped up and it didn't melt. And it took I put them in there for 40 seconds. So 40 seconds to a plate of nachos might be important. You might be having hunger pain. You might need something fast. Okay, so we're going to top it off here with this meat. Love these rock crops. By the way, just in case I forgot to mention it, in February you can get any of the rock crops at 60% off just by hosting your show. And I promise you your show will be fun if you'll just book with me, because I am different. I'm scary. No, not really. We've caught cakes on fire. We dropped things on the floor. I think people book with me to see what else I can mess up. But that's okay because we're having fun. Then we're just going to top it off with some cheese. Now, this is a big old casserole. So I have more than we need. If anybody needs supper, just come over and join us tonight. Now, all I'm going to do here is stick this in the microwave. 15 minutes and I'll have dinner ready. So while this is in the microwave, I'm going to put some butter in one of my skillets. And I'm going to put this corn in there and just kind of saute it up. I'm also going to make a salad. And remember, today is National Popcorn Day. So if you don't have your popcorn maker, get that. But give me a call, a holler, let me know if there's something I can help you get dinner on the table. Let's do a show and have some fun, because I love to teach people new tricks and tips for the kitchen, how to use these tools, but also because, you know, one of the things I miss about my kids being home when they were little is we always had our meals together at night. We always had dinner together at the table. That's when the conversations were. That's when I learned what was going on in their life, what was going on in their day. We had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. So we don't just sell kitchen tools. Selling kitchen tools is my job. But the concept of helping people have more time for their families, get in and out of the kitchen faster, that's my ministry. That is my chance to teach people to have fun with their families and not take things so seriously. Let life slow down a little bit. And I can tell you that you can make this meal and have it in and out and on the table in less time and less money than it would take you to run to McDonald's. I like McDonald's french fries. Okay, so I gotta hop over there to stop this video. But that's it for now, and I will talk to you later. If you have any questions on any of the products, give me a shout. Bye. I'm still here.